The AIA San Francisco's role in putting together this event was obviously they were the organizer, and the Missing 32% originated with a panel discussion the AIA sponsored about Architect Barbie. Last year, Mattel released, they do this every year, they have a Barbie that has a profession, and last year it was Architect Barbie, and that sort of brought up a lot of issues for women in architecture. So we've been having these discussions on and off for about the last, I'd say, 6 months. And as we had these discussions, it evolved from not really going from thinking about women and telling anecdotal stories or talking about sexism to really sort of encompassing or enlarging the discussion to the sort of brain drain or why women leave architecture. And we really wanted to understand what was it about architecture culturally or economically or just the sort of whole history of the way the work culture is in architecture that makes it perhaps less friendly or less appealing for women to stay in.
The Missing 32% is an issue that really is specific to architecture, and what the 32% refers to is the fact that, like law and like medicine, the rates in school are about 50 female, 50 male. So they're about equal, and it's equal across the professions. But what really happens in our profession, very much unlike the other professions, is that we lose 32% of the women between school and licensure. Some of the goals they put forward for the day were they wanted to be inspired and connect with other women. They wanted some actionable items to come out of the discussion. They wanted to know how other women are handling moving up the career ladder, balancing their career with family. Some of the individuals wanted to know about salary discrepancy between women and men, and if they're part of that missing 32%, and we did have some there, how do they get back into the profession? We started with a panel discussion and hearing some stories from some very different practitioners. Women who were sole practitioners, women who were in large firms, and we heard a little bit about what they had encountered in the profession. We then followed that up with what we think is fairly unique in the Bay Area and perhaps across the country, with a panel discussion about a project that was led by 3 women, a female architect, a female owner, and also female project manager for the construction side. It was an incredibly successful project, and so it was a great panel discussion. We followed all of that up by a working session on what can we do about this and what are some actionable items. The report out was phenomenal. There were page upon page upon page of really things that we can do to help change the normal as we know it now and turn it into something very different than we see today in the profession. Overall, we felt like it was an incredibly positive and productive day. I think our challenge now is how do we carry that forward? This is not just a women's issue. This is an issue for the profession as a whole.
There were a lot of women who are here who have been thinking about this topic in general for a long time, and now we can all get together and formulate ideas, bounce stuff off of each other, and that we're all pretty committed to seeing this move forward over time. Well, I think it was a long time in coming because a lot of what came out of it, it seemed like we were on the same page.
It's the first time in my 32 years of practice that I've ever attended an event for women architects, and I just felt such connection and really support for moving forward with women, moving women forward more in the profession. It's been a day that I'm very glad that I was able to come and to listen to the the tapestry of voices, of youthful voices, experienced voices, and thoughtful comments about where we are as women in the profession. There's just huge talent and huge interest and huge commitment and passion for being an architect.